Who's hungry? Yeah, like who's hungry? I am for real hungry right now. You might hear my stomach grumbling even as we talk today. But as I am sitting here hungry, I recently met with a dietitian who talked to me about how every meal matters. And I can get so busy that sometimes I miss a meal. Has that ever happened to you? Like you go through your whole day and you're like, I forgot to eat lunch, or it's 9 o'clock and you're like, did I eat dinner? Does cereal count? All those things, right? Those questions come through your mind, and we often don't take the time to realize how every single meal matters. And today we're gonna look at why it matters and how important it is for you and for me. What's up, Bible nerds? I'm Bo, and just as I talked about, we're talking about food, all right, and how every meal matters. But I've been thinking about this not just in the sense of every meal that we eat, but also every opportunity we get to meet with God. And I was like, if every meal matters, then shouldn't every time I meet with God matter? And I was thinking through these elaborate meals that I've loved to have over the course of my lifetime. Like I'm thinking like anniversary meals. I'm thinking like birthday meals. I'm thinking like these highlight meals that I can look back on and it's like, dang, that was so good. But I often only rely on those instead of relying on the small snacks and the daily meals that actually sustain me. And I think this correlates to our relationship with God because often we can get so focused on the high of meeting with God, the high of reading our Bible, that we can look to those things and only rely off the nutrition of those meals instead of realizing that sometimes it's just the midnight snack that you need to sustain you. Sometimes it's the leftover mac and cheese that you need to sustain you. Sometimes it's the Triscuits in the pantry. Who likes Triscuits anyways? You need those things to give you the nutrition that you need to go about your day. And so as I think about this as my relationship with God, it makes me wonder, man, how many meals have I skipped with God? Literally and figuratively, how many times have I missed a meal with God? And I want to live a life that I don't miss any meals with God because I know every time I meet with Him, He wants to teach me, He wants to love on me, and He wants to walk with me. And so today we're going to look at how we can meet with God in reading our Bible. And a couple quick tips that I've learned in meeting with God and even heard from other people is how do we get our mindset right as we meet with Him? I do not like to eat when I'm rushed. And so something that I do when I read my Bible is I make sure that I'm not rushed. I'm slow. I'm calm. I have everything I need to step into this encounter with God. And as I slow down, I begin to pray. A couple things that might help you as you meet with God and some things that I think about as I meet with Him is I pray over a couple things. The first thing that I ask of God is, God, give me wisdom. Second thing that I ask is, God, let what I learn from you today not be to puff me up, make me feel good so I can go and share it with people, but help what I learned today to actually teach me to be more like you in the way that I live. The third thing that I ask is, God, help me to see something new. I love when I see new things in the Bible. It just kind of pumps me up. And so I ask Him, show me something, reveal something new. The fourth thing that I ask is, God, help correct any lies that I believed about you. Things that I might have thought that weren't true and that you use your word to help reveal in me. And then the very last thing that I pray is, God, direct my steps from your word as I walk in love. Take what I've learned from this encounter with you and help me go be the type of person that shows love everywhere I go. So the very first thing that we have to do is we have to slow down. Second thing that we have to do is we need to pray. The third thing that we need to do is we need to ask questions, right? As we're reading His word, why was that word used instead of this word? Why was this noticed and why was this not noticed? Ask questions as you read the Bible. This is a dialogue with God. This is not a monologue. It's an opportunity for us to meet with Him. When you're meeting with somebody over a meal, you don't sit there and just eat and not say anything. You talk with them about what's happening in your life. And then the next thing that we need to do is we need to use the resources that are all around us. We are blessed in this time of history where we have more messages, commentaries, Bible plans, things that help us understand what's happening in that time. But oftentimes we don't use them. And so in recap, what we need to do in our encounters with God, what I invite you to do in your encounters with God is this: slow down, pray, slowly ask the questions that He's placed before you, use the resources around you. And what I know is that as you get to know His word, you'll actually get to know Him. And I think at the end of the day, if you're watching this video, your desire is that you get to know God. You get to know what he's like. You get to know how he lived. And allow that to change the way that you go out and you live your life and do the work that he's placed before you. You'll begin to live more intentionally, prayerfully, and slowly. And as you meet with him, you'll be more full. One of my favorite things that Jesus talks about is that he offers and he promises us life and life to the full. I want to have a full life with God. A verse that I've been clinging to recently is Proverbs 27:7. And it says, when your soul is full, you turn down even the sweetest honey. So while the world might offer you sweet honey, if your soul is full and you do these things, none of that's attractive because you're full of God and you're living in the fullness with him. I'm excited for us to go out and live this, and I hope that you stay nerdy.